Well, next we look at the proposed hate speech bill, which has stirred so much controversy in the country. The 26-page bill has largely been criticized by a lot of Nigerians who, among other things, wonder why a commission should be created for hate speech and also why a clause provides capital punishment for violators of the somewhat vague offense of hate speech. Well, the sponsor of the bill, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, may have bowed to pressure as he now says that the clause relating to death penalty will be amended. But is this enough for Nigerians? That's the big question. Let's now join a legal practitioner, Mr. Kayode Ajulo, in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, the big question is, are you satisfied with this latest development now that the sponsor of the bill says the capital punishment clause will be amended?
Well, one cannot be satisfied, particularly what the East is talking about is trying to maybe remove some of the clauses, particularly when it comes to the issue of death sentence. The issue today is the fact that we don't need that bill. It is not, apart from not being a distraction, it is waste of time. And I believe Nigerian Senate and other legislators, we have something better more than that. The issue here is this. We need not continue to duplicate and provocate most of our laws. Like I said earlier, we have law on sedition, our criminal code, penal code. It's so clear. By the time you check section 50 of the criminal act, it's so clear that what is being mentioned on this hate speech bill is what we have there. So the question we should ask ourselves is that, why are we talking about it? Why must we cause any distraction? When with the issue of terrorism, there is a need for bills on terrorism, there is need on bill on standard of education, on power, we talked about still some minutes ago. We need bills to really clear the lacuna when it comes to the issue of the state and the federal government. But the question is this, why this distraction? Why are we talking of it? I think the best thing Nigeria wants and what Nigerians expecting from the promoters of that bill is to withdraw it, to total blackout, is to remove it and let us move on and move to something greater.
Right. Now, you say this is a distraction and there's no need for it. But for the sponsor, he believes the bill will help solve the problem of hate speech, which, according to him, has fueled so many killings and violence. And he says it's also responsible for depression and suicides in the country. So from that perspective, do you still agree or do you still think that there's no need for this?
I think I wish we can have some time. I will have come with this Cybercrime and Prevention Act that was passed some years ago and place it side by side with this current bill. You find out that the question we ask is this: what is new that the HP need to introduce? I think one thing we have to know is this: Nigeria we will not forget this fact. Ken Saro-Wiwa is well known in this country. Ken Saro-Wiwa was killed during the Abacha regime, that is the 90s. One of the reasons that makes Ken Saro-Wiwa to go to that gallows is about the hate speech. I think Nigeria need to read this and to know. So the question is this: that law, has it been repealed? If there's any issue, what the distinguished senator should be doing is to be calling for amendment for all the other statutes and law we have before, not trying to raise it. I challenge him to tell us what is new that this new bill want to introduce that we don't have in the country. We don't have in our law before. I think we don't need this. We are even wasting our time by even discussing it now.
I guess we still have to talk about it because it has passed first reading, and I believe that, there'll probably be a time for a public hearing. But on a final note, from what we have seen so far, it appears as though he's, asking for input from Nigerians. So, hate speech, yes, it's a issue issue. You have alluded to that. So, from your perspective, how do we handle this? You say we have the laws, but some other people will say the laws are perhaps not strong enough. So, how do we handle this on a final note?
The law is as strong as is expected a statute should be. What I think the best way to our statute is our law enforcement agency, the police, and every other agencies of government that has to do with that, to be up in their doing, to wake up to their duty, to ensure that this hate speech, whosoever that is found wanting, is dealt with already existing law. I think that one settled it. Sometimes ago, my very good friend Audu Maikore was being taken up by the Kaduna state government. And I think there is enough law to do that. And so the question we should ask again is this: why are we introducing this? Why are we bringing this? The Inspector General of Police, all he needs to do is, because in the Nigerian police today, we have a lot of squad. If it is necessary to have a squad to deal with such issue, I think that would be better than even thinking of bringing another law to duplicate what we have already.
Well, that's where we leave it. But we'd like to thank you so much, Mr. Kayode Ajilo. He's a legal practitioner and he's been sharing his thoughts on the proposed hate speech bill. Well, so that's the program for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Kayode Okikiolu. To have a beautiful night.